So in this seated lateral position, a lot of us like to do internal and external rotation, maybe just to isolate that muscle group to get it stronger. So what's nice is that maybe you might have that person be self-spotting and doing internal rotation. And again, they can switch hands and then they can go right into external rotation. What I like about this exercise and about the fact that you do it on the total gym is I can take that stationary, safe position into your side, and as the person and the patient progress, I'm going to have that person move to varying planes of motion. So not only are you just working right at that stationary side, they can start to work into different varying ranges. And as we move to seated backward, you can see how you can progress this even as well. So moving into this external rotation, Jeff just nicely came up to where his elbow is here, and now he can go into tricep extension. So you can have the arm out to the side. If you're starting someone out, you might bring the elbow in a little bit and then just isolate. The hand can be positioned so that it faces you. It can be facing sideways, it can be facing up, whatever works best for your patient. From this position, let's just give that arm a rest. You can go into bicep curl, and you can go into an overhead press. So some things to consider is where is the pulley placement. I've kept it at this inner middle position, but let's say you want to intensify a little bit. You give him a little bit more of a line of pull. I can bring it down a little bit when he's doing that overhead press. If I'm in this position and let's say now I'm going to go into a chest fly, well, this is kind of adding an upward force, and that might be okay, but if they start to feel some shoulder shear or they're not feeling it, that they're stabilizing, or you might want more of a horizontal line, I'd have his feet go on the ground, and then we bring the pulley clamp up. So also note in this position, when you go seated lateral, remember that that glide board moves. So bring the board up to a horizontal position to give the person the best spinal alignment as possible. So see it from this position, we're going to transition into more of a horizontal fly. So first I'm going to start with a short lever and just coming up into a high elbow row. And then as the person gets stronger, you might want to change up the exercise some. You can come up and then out, more of a PNF pattern. Straight arm back or bend the elbow back. It's dependent upon what your tension is. And then you can go straight arm across the body. So as you can see in just a seated lateral position, how much we flowed from a long lever to a short lever. Remember the clamp position. And remember that I can also transition the person into a kneeling position. So I'm going to have Jeff come off. We're going to step behind. And just to reiterate, he's going to knuckle down and just show you how he can do similar movement patterns. A low kneeling might be where you start. If the person can't low kneel, you would maybe go to a high kneeling position. If they high kneel, it is very much of a stability requirement. So it requires that much more core strength as well. The pulley clamp position becomes really important, that if you're doing somewhere where you're doing more of a decline, you might have it higher. If they're doing more of a golf swing, so if you want to come down like so. If I want more of an incline up, like an incline chest fly, I can bring this clamp all the way down. And I do want to note, when you start to transition people in the high kneeling position, this is where anchoring becomes really important. So if I brought this pulley clamp down and then brought it here, you can now do more of an incline position, so like another PNF pattern pulling into play. You don't have to have the person as stationary in terms of just staying very tight in their torso. You can have that person move as well. And oftentimes I have that other person's other hand on top, assisting for a self spot. So even though the left arm might be doing more of the work here, the right arm can be assisting as well.